Hello friends, welcome to PySpark video tutorials, and today's session I am going to cover Spark caching and persistence. So what is this caching and persistence, when we will go for using this, and what are the benefits if you are going to use this? So what are the benefits you are getting if you are going to use this caching and persistence? So let's start with what is caching. So when we'll go for this and the benefits. So caching, when we'll go for this means if you have a huge data actions or transformation if you are doing, and that also frequently if you are doing that particular your analysis, and that too its latest data, you can say hard data sets. So frequently if you are doing more transformations or actions, so what will happen? So particular data if you are repeatedly accessing frequently, it will take like every time going and getting the data is a time consuming process, right? So what you can do, instead of extracting data from source, extract once and store into memory, and you can reuse that. That's called caching. So caching means, so whenever you're doing actions or transformation, so it will extract the first time and it will store into memory, and the second time onwards, whenever you are reusing that actions or transformations, if you are frequently using that, then it will be used from memory instead of source or whatever you are using that data. So then what is a persist? So persist, if you enable cache and if you have a huge data set and it is not able to store in memory, so what will happen? Remaining data will be stored in other than memory. That's called, it will go to disk. So like remaining other partitions it will store, right? So what you can do, there is a option called persist. So they are giving another option. So that options here you can see storage types. So cache will store default in memory, but if memory is not sufficient, if you want to store somewhere, that's called, they are giving other option called persist. If you use this and you can configure these options, that's options are memory only is the default one, and other options are memory and disk. So you can store this data. If you use data, you can store in memory and disk, and you can reuse that. Memory only with serializable object, so that is called memory only serial SCR. So this is serializable object. It will store as a Java JVM object, so it will give a best performance. Same for the memory and disk also, it will store as a serializable object. The JVM object will store. And other two options are disk only, so it will store only disk instead of memory. And another one is heap, off heap option. So this you need to enable this parameter, that's called off heap. So this is all the list of config options you can use using this persist. Then what are the benefits if you are going to use this cache and persist? That's called a time efficient. So whenever you are using frequently, so it will give a best load time. That's called a time efficient and cost efficient. So it will reduce the cost and less execution time. So if you have more actions and frequently and you are using those, so if you are using this cache or persist, so it will give best performance like execution time. It will decrease the execution time efficient and cost efficient. Then what is the unpersist? So unpersist means if the data is stored in cache in memory, if you enable this cache and the data is storing in memory, so after some time that should get deleted, right? That's called based on least recently used algorithm, so it will be deleted. So if you want to delete manually instead of deleting system, so it will take some time to delete, right? So if you are frequently using, and once you are done with the transactions, if you want to delete this data in program itself, you can define that called unpersist for your data frame or RDD. So we can use this too for both RDD and data frames. That's unpersist. Unpersist means, so manually we are deleting those data which is cached. So that's options is available. Let's start with the example how to use this. Just initialize a find Spark, create a Spark context, and here I'm loading this data from this employee file. This is available with header 16 rows is available. So let's create RDD. So it will take some time to create a Spark context because I'm running in my local machine because of memory and other things. It will take some time. So what I'm doing here, I'm doing some actions. There's a 4 actions. So before that I'm taking a time, start time and end time. I'm giving that total elapsed time here, but I'm not enabling cache here. Let's run this, how much time it will take. So I am running this. So if you want to enable cache, that RDD or data frame dot cache, you need to use this method or function, you need to use this. So here the 10 seconds is the total elapsed time for this, and I am going to enable this cache. So cache, then after that I am going to run the same whichever earlier we run that. So after cache, again I am running the same thing. Let's see how much time it will take. And here you cannot identify exact performance because of my local system. I'm set up my total setup in local system. So if you configure it properly and if it is working in real environment, then you will identify this. And if you have a huge data set and huge actions, because I have only 16 records, so 16 records you can't identify much because it's a less than 10 seconds only, right? So you can't identify much. So let's run it again. 10 seconds is taking same time. So earlier this also 10 seconds, this also 10 seconds. So why? Because of data actually. Here we have a 16 record. If you have huge data, then you can identify the difference. Now you can see it is taking 8 seconds. That is after cache. So it will fetch the data from cache. So if you want to unpersist this, so we can use that data frame or RDD dot unpersist. So that means removing data existing whatever cache data. This again, if you want to cache, so again RDD, whatever you have, RDD dot cache, like this. Sorry, EMP. So this is like this, unpersist, and again if you want to cache, you can use this cache. And as I told, persist. So persist means if you want to enable that, if you want to use that parameters as per the explain the list, memory only, memory and disk, serializable, disk only, off heap, so you can use like this. So here this persist only, you can use the other parameters, PySpark dot storage level dot and your parameter value. Okay, so disk only you can use. If you want to use, you can use a disk only. PySpark is not defined, so we need to first import the PySpark because it is a PySpark module and it is already cached. So only one thing you can use. So here you can see already assigned level. So because default it is using memory, right? So first you have to use unpersist. Only one you can use. Then I am going to use now. Here you can see. Okay, so like this we can set this disk only or other parameters like disk, memory and disk, and it's already set. So again you have to use unpersist, then run this. Memory and disk. So if you want to use a serializable, you can use this. So again you have to unpersist. So whenever you are using this in your program, so default you can use for cache, last end of this job you can use unpersist. So that will be clear because whatever jobs you are using that frequently, if you are using that multiple times, so default you can go for cache or persist, and these are all the options. Okay, like this we can go for enabling cache or persist. So this is the two things. So cache is a default memory only, and if you want to use other storage parameters, other storage level parameters, you can go for using persist. That's only difference here. So if you are going for other storage level parameters, like you have to use this parameters PySpark dot storage level dot and your parameter value, that's called memory only or memory and disk. Memory and disk are serializable, disk serializable, like this. Other parameters are available. That time you can go for using this persist. And if you want to clear this cache, you can go for using unpersist. So these are all the options you can use in PySpark. So just I'm rewinding all this whatever we covered in this session. So cache we can enable using a cache, that is the default option. enable the data will be stored in memory. If the memory is reaching, so it will store into other partitions or whichever are available in the disk. And instead of that, what you can do, you can use the persist for other parameters like specifying memory and disk. Okay, and that also there is other option called serializable, so you can use this. And if you want, and default data will be deleted from memory. That's a recently used algorithm. So if you want to delete manually, you can use unpersist. This is the complete overview on cache and persistent. So thank you for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel to get more videos and updates on my channel. Thank you very much.